Now you've established he committed an act of terrorism. Do you condemn it?
No, I do not condemn it. I stand by.
So you support terrorism? Stop Anti-Semitism put Guy Christensen, a pro-Palestinian TikTok influencer, on the list too, because he openly endorsed and glorified the murder of 2 Israeli embassy employees in a Washington, D.C. shooting. So the timeline of that was in May this year, a gunman named Elias Rodriguez murdered 2 employees of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., reportedly chanted "Free, Free Palestine." Now, you didn't want to appear as part of the panel, Guy Christensen, so we'll get their reaction after I've spoken to you. But it's very hard to not conclude that you were anti-Semitic. I mean, you were actively supporting an attack on 2 innocent people in Washington, D.C.
I'm sorry, how is that anti-Semitic? Elias Rodriguez was a natural reaction to genocide.
Well, no, you're actively supporting somebody cold-bloodedly murdering 2 civilians.
They're not civilians. They work for the state of Israel.
Well, they are civilians. They're not in the military.
They work for the state of Israel and they advance the Zionist project on behalf of the state. I think that's criminal.
So any diplomat anywhere in the world is fair game for you?
I mean, it's fair game for Israel.
Right. So, but that's anti-Semitism, isn't it? You're targeting them because they're Israeli diplomats.
No, they're not. That is not the same as being Jewish. In fact, I think neither were Jewish. One of them was Christian, and the other, I believe, was atheist, and they did work for the state of Israel. So I stand by what I said. I do not condemn that. But Piers, I hope you know that we have a. Do you know what the ACLU is? I hope you do.
The what?
The ACLU.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, of course. We have a case going on suing over the fallout from this, because I was being smeared as violent, inciting violence, celebrating this murder, none of which is true.
Do not condemn the elimination of those 2 Zionist officials who worked at the Israeli embassy last night, but I want to urge you first to support Elias's actions. He is not a terrorist. He's a resistance fighter.
And we're going to win this case.
Well, I think I mean, look, I don't want to preempt your case, but when you say when you say this murderer was not a terrorist, he's a resistance fighter, and when you restate your belief that the shooting is being used to weaponize violence against Palestinians, but we will meet it with our own greater resistance and escalation. Clearly, people will see that as a direct threat against other civilians.
Why do you think resistance happens?
It's not resistance, it's terrorism. When you cold-bloodedly murder people in the street in DC as a response to a war that's going on in Gaza, that is terrorism.
It's reaction to the genocide. He couldn't bear it anymore.
No, it's just cold-blooded murder. That's what it is.
It's murder. I agree with that.
You agree it's murder?
I agree it's murder.
Okay, obviously. So then he's a terrorist then, right?
No, he's not a terrorist.
What is he? He's a murderer.
Reacting to the genocide. Yeah, sure, he's a murderer.
And he's murdering.
But I'm not going to condemn him.
Do you accept he was murdering for? Do you accept he was murdering?
The genocide he couldn't bear watching torn apart Palestinian children.
Sorry, wait a minute. Do you accept that he was murdering for political reasons?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, then that's a terrorist. That's literally the definition of a terrorist. You don't even know what terrorism is, do you?
Piers.
Well, Guy, I'm sorry, and it's not funny. With all due respect, you obviously have no idea what the word terrorism means. That is literally the definition.
The word terrorism means
when you murder
nowadays.
somebody for political motivation,
that. Just like the word anti-Semite means nothing when they give it to someone like Miss Rachel.
You've literally just called him a terrorist, having denied he was a terrorist. Right, you've literally just said, sorry, Guy, with respect, let me speak. Just to be clear, when I said to you, did he murder these people? You said yes. And when I said, did he do it for political reasons? You said yes. That is the definition of terrorism. And yet your response at the time was he's not a terrorist, he's a resistance fighter. And I put it to you, you have now admitted he's a terrorist.
No, he's a resistance fighter.
Yeah,
it's very clear.
Resistance fighters are not terrorists.
The Palestinian resistance is not terrorists. They're resistance fighters.
But he murdered for political reasons. He's a terrorist, by your own definition.
I mean, October 7th happened for political reasons. I don't understand what this gotcha is. It's not really a gotcha. Terrorist resistance fighter.
It's not a gotcha. I just don't think you know what a terrorist is. So when you say he wasn't a terrorist, actually, literally, he was a terrorist. He was waging terror by murdering people for political reasons. That is terrorism. You don't know that, do you?
No, it's a reaction to genocide.
Well,
and
you
I condemn the
that's
genocide.
That's not what you
And
said
we
in
need to
your
get rid of
answer.
the genocide, or else we're going to
Okay.
see more attacks like
People
this.
are going to watch
because
this back and go, hang
people
on a
are
second.
watching
You said he
the
wasn't a
Palestinian
terrorist, but he
children
murdered
blown apart,
he
and
murdered
they
2
can't
diplomats.
stand seeing it any longer. So of course things like this are going to happen. And we must end the genocide, so we end all of the violence that comes with it.
Right.
You know, this genocide is poison on the world.
So now you've established he committed an act of terrorism. Do you condemn it?
No, I do not condemn it. I stand by.
So you support terrorism? What's funny about that?
Because that's not what I said.
You've supported somebody who murdered people by your own admission for political reasons, by your own admission, who committed an act of terrorism. Literally, that is what terrorism is.
I did not think it was useful to condemn him because it's a reaction to the genocide.
So you don't condemn terrorists?
I don't. This is a gotcha. I don't condemn.
It's not a gotcha. You're gotchaing yourself.
Resistance. I don't condemn.
You've literally admitted he murdered people for political reasons. That is a terrorist, and so you support terrorism.
Resistance fighter. He's a resistance fighter.
But you admitted he's a terrorist.
I didn't admit he's a terrorist, Piers. Can we move on?
If somebody murders someone for political reasons, they are a terrorist. Do you not know that?
He's a resistance fighter, Elias Rodriguez.
But he murdered people for political reasons. That's what you told me.
Yeah, I believe he murdered for political reasons.
So he's a terrorist.
No, he's not a terrorist.
You're very confused, aren't you, Guy?
This word? No, I'm not confused.
You are. You're very confused because you don't seem to understand what a terrorist is. So it's not surprising that you're confused about whether you should condemn it or not.
Do you believe the Palestinian resistance fighters are terrorists? All of them. Piers.
What was that? Sorry?
Do you believe the Palestinian resistance fighters are all terrorists, Piers?
I think all the ones that invaded Israel October the 7th were terrorists, yeah.
Okay, so you cannot resist the occupation, the domination, the genocide, and apartheid.
Terrorism is terrorism wherever it happens, whatever the reason, it's terrorism. 3,000 Hamas terrorists invaded Israel and committed mass murder. It was an act of grotesque terrorism. Anyone who says differently is defending terrorism.
Piers, most of the people they murdered were Israeli war criminals, IDF soldiers.
Actually, most of them were civilians, innocent people. And they kidnapped a baby. They kidnapped Holocaust survivors. It was disgusting and an act of brutal terrorism. Do
you condemn the thousands of Palestinian hostages
to justify it and defend it is actually making you complicit in the terrorism.
Do you condemn Israel for holding thousands of Palestinian hostages right now?
I've condemned Israel for many things in this war. Yes, I'm happy to condemn.
Genocide?
I'm happy to condemn both sides. What I find I'm really struggling with is a lot of people have ideological views they spew out, thinking they know something about
it's just
the situation.
Humanity versus evil. That's what this is about.
I know, but then on the other hand, you think it's fine to murder innocent people in the street in DC for political reasons, which is an act of terrorism. You think that's fine?
Piers, I don't.
So don't preach to me. Don't preach, with all due respect. Do not preach to me about humanity when you have zero humanity about the victims of that terrorist attack.
I can't believe you would ever say that.
Well, your humanity is only one.
I do not encourage that.
Your humanity is one-sided. Yeah.
In fact, I think it was, contrary to the movement. As you understand, I was worried about it sparking or being used to justify a crackdown. So why would I encourage it or want it to happen?
You literally said we will meet it with our own greater resistance and escalation.
Do you know what I advocate for on my platform?
I know what you're advocating for on my platform.
So you don't.
You're defending political murder, which is terrorism. Literally, that's what you're doing. You just don't realize it.
I know. I just didn't condemn it. That's all, Piers. It's a reaction to genocide.
You don't condemn terrorism.
And I stand with what I said.
One last time, to be clear,
I don't condemn, and I will never.
You accept it was politically motivated murder, but you don't condemn it. How dare you say that
2 years into this genocide? This is disgusting.
Okay, but just to be clear, one last chance I'll give you.
I don't need another chance. I'm not going to condemn
resistance. You've admitted it was politically motivated murder, which is terrorism. Do you condemn it?
I do not condemn it.
Okay. Guy Christensen, thank you very much.